Hail adventurers and fellow EQOA alum. Those of you who know me would know me as Rec, possibly as Requiem, Recognize, or if you know me from the old days, Kenobi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video kind of about my first experience and stuff with EQOA, how I got into the game. Maybe we'll see what else that leads into. I started playing EQOA. Well, I first heard of EQOA because my best friend, since I was like 9, best friend since 4th grade, we worked together after high school, and he started coming to work, and this was like probably early December, late November of 2003, so shortly after Frontiers came out. He would come to work, and he was telling me about this game that he played at our other friend's house called Everquest Online Adventures. And he was telling me about how he made, a necromancer, and how he made this a barbarian warrior character, and he told me all about running around this huge world, and just about how cool it was, and just hearing him describe it made me really hyped for it. So I ended up buying the game. I think my first day playing was something like December 27th or 28th of 2003. So it was right about this time of year. So this time of year always reminds me of EQOA. So I started playing. I bought it one day, and I didn't tell him I was going to buy it. I just went out and bought it. I thought, I'll get it. I was going to start playing, and I'll just, surprise him. And I didn't really know how online games worked. I had never played one before. So I was, I thought I would just, turn the game on, and and there would be my friend playing the game also. So that's obviously not how it works. So I got the game home, and I put it in, and I was trying to play, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to make an account, how to do anything like that. So I ended up having to call him, and he, kind of walked me through setting up my account and whatnot. And we got to the server screen, and I kind of was like, what server do I pick? So he told me to pick Proud Pine Outpost, also known as PPO. Then I got in there, and I made my character. My friend was a barbarian warrior, so I made a barbarian warrior, and I thought, what else would you want to be? And again, a barbarian warrior. It just sounded amazing, right? I had no idea at this time what a tank was, what what a healer was, what any of the different classes and things needed or did or whatever. So barbarian warrior sounds amazing. I'm gonna go kill some stuff. So I made my character, and it loads you into the world. Welcome to Norath. Talk to this dude in front of you. And so I started, kind of getting the hang of the controls and stuff, and I went, on my first quests, running out and, just like punching bats and rats and ravens and stuff in the face, things that, why would you ever want to punch it in the face? Let's go punch it in the face. So I started doing that, and then my friend, he's like, dude, don't you have a sword? Why don't you equip it? And I'm like, whoa, wait a second, I have a sword? So I started, he taught me how to equip my sword. I had to be shown how to equip a sword. And then, I just started running around hacking and slashing stuff, and I thought it was really awesome. And then, so it got to the point where we're doing like the, level 7, level 5 or 7 quest, something where I had to, actually leave the confines of Hollis. And, so I'm like, dude, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Do you know where I'm supposed to go? And he said, yeah, follow me. So he leads me, to the tunnel. You're running down the tunnel, there's this little light at the end, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and when you get to the end, and, the world just opens up before you, and at that point, like, exiting that tunnel, it was like, my mind was blown. This game is huge. I had no idea how big this thing was. And even at that point, I'd seen, like, 1% of the world. So, the game just blew my mind as far as the scope, how massive it was. And so then, he runs me out, and he's level 12, I think, at this point, or 13 or something like that. So he runs me out to where the Freeze Blood Ice Crushers and Ice Masters are, and he basically starts power leveling me. I had no idea what it was, but he basically just, taunted and took the hits, and I started punching stuff and hacking and slashing. So at that point, I was already hooked. This game was already for me. So by the end of my first day, I was probably I think, level 12 by the end of my first day. And this was the day, you know, me and my friend running around, and then our other friend who had gotten, well, my one friend was with Dropkick. So if you know us from PPO, Dropkick, and then other friend was Naslavist, another barbarian warrior, but I think he was on his necromancer at the time or something. But at the end of my first day, we basically made our guild, which was the Boomstick Brawlers. It was my first day on the game. I think I made it to level 12 because I played for hours and hours and hours. So we created our guild, and we kind of like, we had to, like, it was like scrape together money. It was like you had no idea how to make money, so we were like, you know, killing bats and selling bat wings and rat tails and stuff, trying to come up with 5K, because we thought, well, man, if you have 5,000 tunar, you are just like the richest dude in the world. So then my friend, who was the one who had gotten Dropkick into the game, he had a little bit of money saved up. So then he brought like 4K, and we pitched in like 5, and we found some other dude that he knew to join the group so that we could make a full group, and we formed the guild, the Boomstick Brawlers. I mean, I was obviously, you know, they made me one of the masters, even though I had no idea what was going on. I was learning the game as I went. But so me and Dropkick and Naslavist, who were all the masters of the guild, we, I don't know, had no idea what we were doing, but we made the guild, and I was in Boomstick Brawlers up until, I don't even know, something like 2008 or something, so for a long time. So that's like my first experience in the world. And so, I mean, it was the craziest thing, because at this point, Hollis was like hopping. There were tons of people there. Like, I remember there was like just some elf dude, he was like level 50, just fighting a guard, and I like, whoa, what's going on, you know? And people were throwing snowballs because it was that time of year, so they had all the Christmas quests and stuff in. So there was like a snowman handing out snowballs outside, and it was like craziness. So many people. It's when you know the state of the game at the end, it's crazy to think of how many people were actually in Hollis at that time. I mean, of all cities, like at the end of the world, basically. So that was really fun, and I think some of my favorite memories back then are, you know, just noob groups fighting skeletons at like the little skeleton tower, and like just like fighting, you know, to get a space to get one skeleton, you know, that you could kill, because there was like 6 other groups wrapped around this little broken down tower. You know, and you're running in there and like trying to kill Frostbite, who was, you know, level 13, and you were like level 10, and he could cast, and you had no resist, so he just like annihilated you. Super fun. I mean, I have nothing but the greatest of nostalgia for that period of the game. And I kind of like, I think I lingered in Hollis for a long time. I think I was like level 15 before I even left like the snowy area. You know, I kept XPing at like, we went over into like the Snowfist area, kind of like what people always termed Evil Hollis, but I mean, it's just, you know, Snowfist. I believe it's their camp, you know, like the big camp with a wall around it and stuff. We would go there, and just anywhere there was snow, I stayed for a long time. We kind of went down into the underwater cave where King Ixil was. There was just really good times back in the beginning of it. But I stayed, I think, around the Hollis area in the snowy area until like level 15 or so before I ventured out. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to run. I'm going to go as far as I can go. So I was by myself, and I just started running. And I basically, I'll just follow the river. So I followed the river down, and finally I hit, you know, where there was no snow anymore, around Mount Hate Spike. And, you know, I go down, and I hit the little waterfall, and boom, and there's the Knoll camp, you know, and I would have got murdered if I got anywhere near it, because everything is deep, deep red to me at this point. So I'm running, and I made it to Darver Manor. And at Darver Manor, someone had invised me or something. I don't remember why, but I ran up to the coachman. I'm going to talk to this guy, and this way I can come back. But I ran there, and the coachman wouldn't talk to me. I think someone had invised me. So he wouldn't talk to me. And I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. I can't, you know, get a coach at this place. So then I just kept running. So I followed the road out of Darver Manor south to the Black Swan Inn. and then like around, and I followed the road all the way down into Blakedown. And I got into Blakedown, and I was looking around at that stuff, and I was kind of running around there, and then I got randomly killed by a badger or a bear or a wasp or something out there, and it sent me all the way back to Hollis. And at that point, I didn't realize it, but I should have been able to get that Darver Manor coach. Even at level 15, I ran all this way with nothing to show for it except that I had seen more of the world, and so those are some of my best experiences. I don't know what else this video needs to be. So there's my little introduction to me and how I got into EQOA. If you want, respond, tell me what you think, anything I reminded you of, or make a video of your own. Tell us how you got into EQOA. So thanks, guys. See you around.